Hello and welcome to the Business Dashboard here on City TV. My name is Abna Owusu-Nyamiche. On the dashboard, the audit service to begin the auditing of road projects in the country to give value for money. Still to come on the dashboard, ADB gets new board and its members are assuring that they will work to help the bank meet the minimum capital requirement. And later, management of the Consolidated Bank gives former workers of Unibank 5 days to reapply for positions in the new company. We've got details of these stories and many others all coming up on the Business Dashboard. Now here's our first story. Businesses within the Central Business District of Accra are to embark on a three-day from next week Monday to Wednesday to express their displeasure against the cargo tracking notes implementation. According to the businesses, the demonstration will be effected by the closure of all shops in Accra. Nana Oye Ankara has been following the story and reports.
Mobile phone dealers at the Nkrumah Circle, electrical cable dealers at Opera Square, and dealers of general goods at Okanshi, all in Accra. Members in other regions have also been asked to close their shops. According to Guta, various discussions with government with regard to Guta.
There are a lot of disadvantages in this implementation of CTN, and we made all this known to the Deputy Minister. As I'm talking to you now, we still haven't heard anything. We know negative impact on our businesses. So despite the fact that GIF are not doing work as a result of clearance of goods, and we know, as I've told you already, some
help to verify the contents of every cargo and track its actual value from the ports of origin. But the stakeholders say it will bring additional expenses to the already high duty
mandate that they shouldn't worry themselves to come, because when they come, there are going to be total closure of shops or all these areas that I have mentioned.
This latest development backs that of the freight forwarders who ended their 3-day strike today. The action was necessitated by what the businesses say is government failure to heed concerns on the policy which impedes trade facilitation. But the Commissioner of Customs Division,
parking lot, they are all faking it. The CTN is coming to address these issues, because the number that will be generated will be quoted on all your commercial documentations, and therefore when we are looking at documentation and we see that you have gone to generate your own document, we will see it.
If you're planning to buy a part for your vehicle, you may want to do so earlier than Monday, as spare parts dealers together with other traders are planning to
begin the auditing of roads in the country. According to the service, the move is to ensure government gets value for money in the construction of roads. This follows reports which have revealed that the cost of majority of roads constructed in the country does not correspond with the generally accepted standards and nature of roads. Launching the 2018 audits, the Auditor General, Daniel Domlevo, said the exercise has become necessary due to the bloating of budgets in the road sector.
The road sector is one of the major sectors when it comes to infrastructure spending by government. In 2018 alone, government has allocated 532 million cedis to develop and maintain road infrastructure such as the Kaswa interchange in the central region and the construction of the whole bypass in the Volta region. But checks by the Auditor General has revealed that contractors of such projects bloat their budgets and in most cases shortchange government. This, the Auditor General, Daniel Domlevo, says must stop.
The last thing that we want to do, which I'm very happy to announce, is the construction audit. We all see our roads constructed within a year and they are gone. We are going to look at them. When I was in the World Bank, I know that there was a facility where you can go and take a sample, a cylinder sample of the bitumen and check and go to lab. And please don't ask me, accountant. Audit service is not made up of only accountants. We have engineers, we have surveyors, we have architects, etc. in our performance audit unit. We have about 45 to 50 other professionals who are not accountants, who can tell you that this shape and that shape is not correct on this building. So we are going to use them, empower them, and go after construction. When you construct, we will follow you.
The audit service is therefore acquiring equipment to undertake the exercise.
The one which is difficult to measure is the thickness of the road. Is the road supposed to of the bitumen? and then the length will show, and you can all measure it and say that this is actually 11 inches or it is 5 inches. So that's what we want to do. So there and then we will do it with the contractor. In front of you, we take the sample and say our measurement shows that this is 7, it's not 11. Measure it yourself and tell us what you are also getting. And if we do that with you, maybe we take about 10 or 15 samples at different stages.
Although roads will be the focus, contractors of other structures, including government buildings, will also be audited. Government spends millions of cedis on the construction of new roads and the rehabilitation of old roads like this one. The audit service believes that if the contractors of such projects are well audited, millions of cedis will also be saved by government. For City News, I am Nana Oye Ankara.
Let's now go to the banking sector, where ADB is confident of meeting the new minimum capital requirement by the end of the year. According to the new board of directors of ADB, it should be able to achieve this with aggressive collection of loans. The board chairman of ADB, Alex Benasco, tells City Business News the bank should be able to compete within the market with the increased capital. He was speaking at the inauguration of a new board for ADB today. The new board also follows the annulment of 4 institutional shareholders by the Bank of Ghana last month.
We are drawing up a program of recap. In fact, we had one already. But, as with all these things, you need to fine-tune as you go along. In fact, one area that would help us most is recovery. We have so many non-performing assets out there. If we do very aggressive, extensive recovery, retrieving these funds which are out there, it will be very easy for us to meet the capitalization. But I'm confident we'll meet the 400 million by end of this year.
The contribution of agricultural sector GDP has been declining over the last 6 years, from 22.9% in 2012 to 18.3% in 2017. While the contribution of the services sector has been increasing over the same period, from about 49.1% in 2012 to 56.2% in 2017. So though ADB remains a leading financial institution in the agricultural finance in the country, its total credits to the agricultural sector has reduced over the last 4 years, while the bank credit to the services sector has increased over the same period. Incoming board chairman and directors, ADB's credibility needs to be restored and refocused on the agricultural sector. There's a need for...
We're still staying with the Ministry of Finance, and 4 fintech companies have been awarded a total of $750,000 to help them provide competitive solutions for remittances to Ghana. The grant is facilitated by the Swiss government as part of efforts to remove barriers to remittances to the rural poor in Ghana. Pius Emehe Eduku has more in this report.
The 4 companies which were awarded the grant are ZPay Ghana Limited, Pay Inc. Ghana Limited, Dream Oval, as well as Express Pay Ghana Limited. The business charges on remittances to Africa, and for that matter, Ghana, is uneconomical.
As a market average, remittances to Ghana and Africa as a whole is the most the cost of it is most expensive. In fact, if you look at all the corridors, we tend to pay between 7 to 12% of how much we are sending. That's a lot of money. Whereas other corridors, you see them paying close to 1%, between 1 to 3%. So for something like this, we are able to, with the fund, we are able to reduce the cost of sending money. In fact, we only charge £1 sending money back home, regardless of the amount, which means that the cost of remittance right now is well below the fees we are offering. And secondly, we are also offering best exchange rate. What that means is that those here can receive more than what they will receive if the remitters have used other channels or other companies.
The Deputy Head of Economic Development Cooperation at SECO, Daniel Lochena, also admitted to the need to improve access to remittances to boost economic growth.
15 years ago, Switzerland decided to add Ghana on the list of what we call the priority countries for economic development and cooperation. So Switzerland is financing quite a substantial program or portfolio of programs in various areas, all aiming at an inclusive and resilient development of the Ghanaian economy and Ghana as a whole.
Meanwhile, the Director of Financial Services Division at the Ministry of Finance, Samson Akiligo, assured of the government's continuous support towards the project.
For me, it's one of the touching things that I have seen so far in terms of development cooperation. I think it's important that development cooperation works in a way that actually empower local people.
A total of $2.6 million has been earmarked to support businesses by the Swiss government. The second batch of beneficiaries should be starting the processes by the end of this month.
You're still watching the Business Dashboard on City TV. We take a breather here. When we return,
Good evening, this is The Point of View. We're live on City TV.
Tune in to The Point of View, Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. as Bernard Avlet takes the news further. He will bring the right guests, ask them the relevant questions, and get you the real insights you need on the big stories for the day.
We need taxes to run the economy. How do you do it sensibly and have the least pernicious in terms of cascading through the economy? And I think that is the thinking that is required. It's not a denial that we need taxes, you know, and I think that the difference in the two administrations.
The Point of View with Bernard Avlet, Monday and Wednesday nights, only on City TV. For regular news checks as they unfold, 2020 news, all day, all the time. Politics, sports, entertainment, business, and more. 2020 news. We bring you the world in 20 minutes.
And that's all the news in 20 minutes.
You're welcome back to the Business Dashboard on City TV. Other stories, and workers of defunct Unibank have been asked by Consolidated Bank Ghana to reapply or consider themselves out of the company. An internal memo cited by citybusinessnews.com gave the workers up to Monday, 3rd September 2018 to reapply or consider themselves not working with Consolidated Bank. Jessica Ayoko-Aye has more in this report.
The interested staff are expected to, among other things, send their details and CVs. The memo cited by City Business News read, quote, "This is to inform you that the CBD 2018 recruitment exercise commences on Wednesday, 29th August 2018. A link to the recruitment portal will be sent to you via email," unquote. The memo, however, clarified that the submission does not mean an outright confirmation by the bank of one's position. It further added that, quote, "If you are shortlisted for the next stage of the recruitment process, you will be required to take placement assessments," unquote. According to the bank, the move forms part of its recruitment exercise, which started today, Wednesday, 29th August. It is not clear how many of the workers will be absorbed by the bank. The defunct Unibank Ghana had over 8,000 staff in various branches spread across the country before they were acquired by the Consolidated Bank. A statement issued by the Consolidated Bank, however, says it will ensure that the layoffs will not bring hardship on the affected workers. This was in response to the numerous unemployment scare that has hit the banking sector recently with the collapse of 7 banks.
Now, the current banking crisis is impacting adversely on investment banks due to uncertainty over deposits. The CEO of DataBank, Kojo Adai-Mensah, tells City Business News his company has been hit with panic withdrawals as well as a drop in deposits by existing and new clients. He, however, believes the situation should be normalized soon with renewed confidence in the public.
Cases of panic withdrawal first hit some local banks when the central bank began its cleansing of the banking sector in August last year. Mensah stressed that the situation has been worrying.
In a place like DataBank, where our name sounds like we are a normal bank, it's even worse, and people come in here panicking that the central bank is also going to either collapse us or merge us, and they want to take their money away. But it gives us an opportunity to even explain what the differences are. But yes, some people don't even listen, and they just come and try and take their monies away. Several withdrawals. In fact, what I should say though is I've had less deposits. I think that is the impact that we are having. Less deposits coming down. The withdrawals are there, but the kind of deposits we saw in the first quarter are all, going down. But I've had an opportunity to encounter clients in our banking halls and on the phone, and they are just very, very nervous about the whole situation. And some of it is even based on my integrity that they are not taking the monies away. Otherwise, they would have taken it away.
The central bank has begun regaining the confidence of the public through various fora and public assurances. Other industry players believe the situation has to be sustained, as any loss of confidence will affect the overall financial sector. In all these, the Depositors Protection Insurance Bill is yet to be passed. The law will clearly spell out the entitlements due customers who are affected in any crisis. But Mr. Adai-Mensah tells City Business News the seeming delay in passing the bill may be a blessing in disguise.
Imagine if the law had just been passed before this crisis came up, and people then started calling on the insurance to get their deposits. There'll be a run on whichever insurance firms would have insured some of these deposits. I haven't read the bill fully in detail, but that is my suspicion, and I think it is in the right direction, because the central bank must be sure that all the institutions are strong and not just taking undue advantage of the fact that there's an insurance protection law existing. So if I'm not able to give you your deposit, you go to the insurance firm and then go and take your money. So I think it is deliberate, and I think that we should have patience for the central bank to finish its processes before the bill is finally passed into law.
Lover of vehicles, 2 new editions, which are in Deluxe Edition and Limited Edition. According to the company, Ghana is one of the first countries on the continent to have the car launched. Well, my colleague Anita Arthur was there and has more in the following report.
The cars, which are 7-seater 4x4s, are available in Deluxe Edition and the Limited Edition. Some key features they possess include heads-up display, blind spot collision warning system, temperature-controlled back seats and wireless phone charging, among others. Speaking to City Business News at the sidelines of the launch, the Chief Executive Officer of Hyundai, Jihad Hijazi, said the company may in the future set up a plant in Ghana to expand its operations if government continues on the economic fundamentals it is embarking on.
One of the main concerns that keeps recurring from this particular, with the origin of the luxury levy, is sanity and the justness of the levy. So the question that people keep asking is, is everybody going to pay that levy who falls within that particular bracket? Is it a just levy?
Mr. Hijazi also stated that the company is hopeful of making more sales with the latest cars, since their engine capacity is 2.4 liters, making them exempt from the tax on luxury vehicles, which affects cars with engine capacity above 3 liters.
So if we can ensure, if the government can ensure the levy is being charged to every single person who falls within that bracket, I believe we'll be fine.
So Ghanaian consumers can now purchase the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe with this limited edition going for $45,000 and this deluxe edition going for $49,000. Reporting from the Auto Plaza Limited showroom, I am Anita Arthur for City News.
Well, and I'm Abna Owusu-Nyameche. You're still watching the Business Dashboard on City TV. We're taking another break. When we return, we'll take you to the United States, where the country is saying its economy grew quite higher than earlier expected in the first quarter. Do stay with us.
Hello and welcome to another day, another week, and of course another episode of 30 Minutes. We're excited and we will be talking about all the trending conversations.